Oh, you're doing a walkabout?
I might go look at the youth first. Maybe, I better do.
Go on, yeah.
People are like that.
We went over there earlier. Found someone with a
With a what?
Oh, Polaroids.
A Polaroid.
That's what they do now.
It was a really nice bunch of lads. They were not what you'd expect in a crowd like that. And one of them had a
really?
Polaroid, so I struck up a conversation. Because what surprised me a bit, I hadn't realised, but this was a modern one. So it wasn't like a vintage one. It was actually a recently made Polaroid. Yes. And the kids are liking this sort of retro stuff. Yeah.
There is a trend back towards
I think it's great.
material objects.
Yes, yeah.
You know,
I think it's
from reading books.
reassuring.
Someone told me the other day, reading books, having a material object in your hand, as opposed to all the virtual world that we've moved
and a return
into.
to religion, I've heard people say.
I heard that as well amongst young men, apparently. So I heard.
All right.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Right, I'll go and nip off for a little bit, and then I'll do my own speakease. I won't spend long over there. I'll just have a quick wander around there. And then I'll be.
Nice if you could find the Polaroid, man.
It's not my feet, so I'll stay for a bit.
You can sit.
No, yeah, but I mean, when you talk...
Oh, I see, when I talk, yeah, well... How long have you been coming to Speaker's Corner? Come, let's get you first of all.
What, me?
Yeah.
Well,
in total, all your life. When did you first come here?
About 40, 50 years. I mean, when I came here, I remember the Soper. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
So he was quite a good speaker.
Quite a good speaker.
Quite a powerful voice.
Yeah, so what did you like about the way he spoke?
Well, I mean, you could hear it all. It's clearly, I mean, I thought he was a little...
You, sir!
Yeah, I thought he was a little arrogant.
Arrogant is the word, arrogant.
He sort of put down people in the crowd, a bit insulting.
But he knew how to do it.
Oh, he knew how to do it, but I mean, as a cleric, you expect, a bit more humble nature. But still, I suppose here, at Speaker's Corner, you've got to...
Difficult to survive at Speaker's Corner if you're not going to be a little bit arrogant, though, because otherwise you're going to get knocked down, aren't you,
I mean, you have got to...
And he had lots of people trying to knock him down, didn't he?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So who else did you used to watch? Barker?
Well, I mean, it's, that went off, so I didn't go for years. I mean, now, it's some religious people, or yourself, because at least you often give us a logical argument. I might agree or disagree, but at least it's...
You better not disagree.
Yeah, well, at least it's...
Otherwise I'll set him on you.
Which is always interesting.
So when do you think you first came down here? What year?
Oh, I should say about, let's see, when I was a student down here, so you're talking about 60 years ago, something like that.
60 years ago?
Yeah.
What's that? 1965. 1965.
Yeah.
Are you in all the hippie brigade then?
Oh, there's all that,
So they're all passé then, aren't they? That lot over there.
You've done
all the dopey heads.
All the trends, isn't it? It comes and goes. I can't get excited over it anymore.
Well, that's no good. That's not a positive message. Give us a positive message.
Well, how can I, I'd be bluffing. I mean, you look at how can you be positive at the moment with the world, global politics changing, everything changing, God knows what he's doing, that Trump there. I mean, it's depressing.
Is that as positive as it gets?
I think, I mean, they all say this, but young people now, it's a lot harder, to get a job, to keep a job, to get a house. I was the baby boomer.
Right.
I think there'll be a reaction against it, those that still survive, that's the young people. But I could be. I mean, they have got grandparents, haven't they? I suppose.
So there's war on the way.
Well, I mean, with nuclear. Well, more and more countries getting nuclear weapons now. Look at Iran getting it. I mean, they're all getting it. It's not just picking on one. And the thing is, it's easy to have an error, to have a false alarm. I mean, that's happened quite a few times. They've had on the screen, haven't they? In America, they've got that big base where it's on a big screen. You see what's happening. Suddenly, so a lot of rockets coming towards them. Now, luckily, that fella, who was in charge of it all, he said, "Well, let's make a double check," and it was just weather conditions.
Cuban missile, you mean?
Oh, it was before that even. But of course, the Cuban there was many cases where it could have. There was that fella called Arkhipov, wasn't he, in that Russian submarine?
Yeah.
He was getting bombarded by depth charges from America, and it required 3 people to make a decision as to whether to let off nuclear weapons. And 2 of them said yes, but the third one, he said no, and they needed to have a majority, they had to have all of them unanimous. So basically, he saved the human race rather than let off a nuclear weapon. Because in those days there was no contact between Moscow and their submarines. You see, these were early days, and the hotline wasn't. It was very, very primitive. So yeah. So in the long term, I mean, I think it is going to be a nuclear war.
Well, that's a very positive note to end on.
Is it?
Thank you very much for that.
Well, I'm not a politician. Politicians give you a lot of good news.
Just a little bit of hope, a little ounce. That's all we want, a little droplet.
Tell me where you see it.
A little aerosol.
I mean, well, yeah, good thing is that with this stick, I get a lot of people stand up for me, you know, they're very nice to treat me very well, you know. So that's
is that right?
Is
that right?
They've got a bit of sympathy. Yeah, like the bus, I missed it, he stopped. Like, you know,
so you going over there to smoke a bit of the latest skunk?
Is that what they're doing there?
Yeah. Been there, done that, have you?
Well, yeah, a little bit. You know. They all, in them days, they all did it, didn't they? Those days.
Yeah. Well, they're all doing it now, by the look of it as well. I'm going to have a quick nip over there and I'll come back later on. Thanks. Can I leave this with you? Are you going to be sitting around here, or I'll find Addy? Don't worry, he's sitting there. All right.
I was going to wander off.
All right. I'll leave this with you, yeah? So I think we'll have a little wander over to the 420 first of all, and then come back to the rest later on. How you doing, Addy? All right? Sorry, Ali.
A couple of weeks ago, it's a corrupt hang around you. It's very rude.
Yeah.
So I had to tell him off because what happened? There was an intellectual and he was talking about politics, what is power, and
I know you don't.
But I'm just letting you know. Okay?
Yeah. We'll point him out and we'll pass him on to the higher authorities.
It was nothing. If he doesn't mention it, forget it.
Yeah.
But it is not right. If you're having a discussion, don't be personal, make your point.
For those who don't know you, there's a little crew watching this. For those who don't know you, how long have you been coming here?
Many moons.
First memories of Hyde Park?
Well, these are good times because people are more sophisticated, they're more subtle now, whereas in the past they were very naive because, as you know, the Cold War and the development, you know, after the war there was new nations, so people, but now I find people understood the little subtleties and the ambiguities, you see, whereas before they were either, you know, into the general, universal, human, etc. But thanks to the new social movements, you know, the sort of environmental, squatters' rights, peace movement, and so I think today's people are a bit smarter.
Okay, well, you're much more positive than the guy I was speaking to 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, there's a difference now because now people don't readily follow. In the old days, a lot of people make a lot of noise. They never understood, okay? And they were in this kind of aggressive things. But now people are more subtle.
Okay.
They're the Christians. These are best times. These are good. And I'm happy they're more smart people now. It makes it easier for me, you know? Whereas in the old days it was difficult because once the crowd goes, and so it's usually like Elton John and those guys. The young people really went for them. But so this popular, a lot of people try to ride that rugged. But now people are more, they're smarter now, more subtle, which is a good thing.
Okay, thanks very much. I'll go and see how these kids are. Well, they're a little bit wasted, I think.
All the best with your project, okay?
You too.
You know.
We got the busy boys, we got the young kids, we got the lot. During the lockdown times, we had some quite bad weather, I remember. I think it was 2021. We had about 40,000 kids or more down here. It's not quite as many as that today. As far as I can make out. Unless they're further down the other end. Maybe they're down the other end. They are spread quite a lot around here, but it's quite scant. I must say that's quite scattered. But they are spread further down, right down towards the Serpentine down there. A little bit less open.
So they really increase the cytochrome. Took out a load of stuff that makes it more balanced. So,
How you doing, mate?
you intruding on me?
I'm intruding on you. I'm come to spy on you. Spy on your latest ideas. Oh, what's that? What's that? Conspiracy theory?
Yeah, we're going through
Conspiracy theory?
Tick 'em off.
You got a conspiracy theory for me today, have you?
The conspiracy theory is that
Which one? Which one you got?
Diana was killed by the paparazzi and a drunk driver. That's the conspiracy theory, because that's a complete lie. Yes.
That's a complete lie.
Yes.
Right, let's ask the lady here. The lady about the lady. What happened to the lady? What happened to the Queen of Hearts?
They murdered her, didn't they? When she
This is
You
public knowledge.
was
so,
the motivation.
So, well, the stuff that she did on
Down here, you remember coming
he just
down here?
spoke at tea, keep talking. Just
I saw you
Yes.
speaking somewhere, but he came down here. He was talking to me.
Secrets are secret.
Look,
Secret.
who's
it's
that
only
speaker
me.
over there? Do you know that speaker? I don't know him. Should we go? I'll go and watch him. Who's that? One with the long hair. I don't know. I'm going to go and quickly have a catch of him before.
Okay.
before that chess game finishes.
In the name of Teddy. Vote the bill. In the name of Teddy.
That man knows exactly how to prevent a crowd from gathering. It's quite an art. It's quite difficult to have nobody at all ever listen to you. And that guy does it. That's definitely a new speaker.
You really do not want your children being with strangers for 40 plus hours a week. You want them to be.
They shouldn't go to school.
So what are you telling the women here? They cannot go to
Red hat without the red hat.
free life like they want to, and that they obviously have shown us that they want. They don't want to sit home making your dinner.
Why should women stay at home?
You would instill values in them to make them better overall. I'm only saying.
We better instill values in the women.
No, in the children. It's all about the
The
children.
women have bad values.
I'm not trying to limit women here. I'm not trying to strip them of their rights. I'm trying to better the future generations to come. So with these, the second reason of why we should go back to traditional gender roles is because families that follow this traditional format have lower divorce rates because divorces are really high at the moment. And with this, studies show that women who choose to have this primary caretaker role, very motherly people, they have higher levels of satisfaction rate. Also,
They're probably dominated.
Who studies are they? Who studies are they?
what?
You just quoted something that women are more satisfied.
Studies.
I don't have the studies on me at the moment, but
Can't make claims about
If
stuff.
women are happy at home, why have they left the home?
if women,
Which is better than happy at home?
I don't know because independent women are still important to society. I'm saying that when it comes to having children, it's important that we make sure that they grow up in a safe and good home and are being well cared for overall.
But if you live in London, if your wife doesn't work and you work, you can't afford to buy anything.
So how does the economic factor?
Here's the thing. There are lots of hidden costs that come with having little children. One of them being childcare. Childcare can cost up to $10,000 to $20,000 per year per person per child. Meaning, if you have many children,
So should there be universal childcare provision?
no. It's better. Wait, universal childcare provision.
The state provides finances for childcare.
Yes,
the government
yes.
looking after your kids.
That would help, but I don't. But it would you need to change over time. But this is a easier change just to have women.
This is a very old-fashioned sort of philosophy.
It is.
Have you watched a lot of sort of old-fashioned TV?
But it's old-fashioned. But it's what's been happening. It just recently has been changing. So it's not really we're changing back, and that has been since the beginning of time to like the last.
About
He wants
1970.
to know the third
The third
point.
point is that even though it might seem economically unstable, there are lots of costs that get cut. Like I said, $10,000 to $20,000 per year per child. I'm saying it right now. It might seem economically unstable, but it's not. So, yeah, $10,000 to $20,000 per year per child on childcare. Meaning, if you have multiple children, that can equal about to a low to mid wage
How many
job.
children should you have?
That is not my point. My point, sir, is that I don't have any children, sir. Not yet.
Do you have a wife?
I don't have children
Do you
yet.
have a wife?
I don't have a wife yet. I'm 19 years
Do
old,
you have a
sir.
girlfriend?
I have a girlfriend.
How many? Which one is it? Which one is it? Right now?
Is she pregnant yet?
No,
She's at home,
I'm still in
right?
school. That's not the point. My point is that
Is she at home cooking your dinner now?
no. My point is that there are several cuts. Exactly. One of my points is that takeout food is very expensive. Takeout food is convenient. When both parents are out working, there's no time to be at home and cooking your home meals. And not only are home cooked meals better, you save money, but they're also healthier. Meaning that your children, which is the main point of this argument, will grow up healthier, better, and be thriving members of
My wife
society.
gets depressed for being at home and she starts serving me, ready meals.
Well, then I'm sorry to hear about that. So, in the end, societies need better homes. Children need lots more love. and families need to be balanced and don't have burnout. So if we want to fix this issue, then we have to start at the core of the issue, which is at the heart of the home.
This sounds like a 1950s black and white movie.
Yeah. Advertisement.
We live in 2025. You just tell all these women they better get back.
Advertisement.
You just hate women.
1950s
I do not hate
advert.
women. I do not hate women.
Yay! Well done. Good lad.
Okay, Mariana.
Oh, you got a gang of people, is it?
A gang. That's what they are. They're a gang.
Gang from what?
The future gang.
Where are they from?
Florida State University.
Ah, there we go.
Okay, Mariana. On a trip. Wow. No, they come here and do their speeches every
How do we
semester.
solve world hunger?
Well, what?
How do we solve world hunger?
How do we solve the food scarcity crisis?
On the diet.
The
Give
water
people food.
scarcity crisis?
Don't
The
spend
refugee problem?
Keep off the day.
I'm sure none of you know.
You haven't answered yet. You haven't
I'm
given
going
us
to
a
give you
chance to
questions you
answer.
might know.
You give us a chance to answer.
Should gay people get married?
No.
Where should transgender people go to the bathroom?
Why do you hate gays?
I
Let's
don't
start giving world hunger a minute ago.
When should children learn about the LGBTQ community in schools? I'm sure that's a problem and a solution that we all have thought of, discussed with our peers, discussed with our coworkers, discussed with each other, and why the LGBTQ community is much less than the people that are refugees in wars. Facing
Hang on. You're
scarcity.
jumping from subject to subject.
Yeah, how is
Can I continue? I haven't gotten to my point yet.
Go through one.
I'm getting there. Why do we focus so much on the LGBTQ community when there's such greater issues in the world? I'm sure if I were to ask you all at what age the LGBTQ community should be taught in schools, we'd all have very different answers.
Never.
Some may say never, some may say always, some may have a specific age. We'd have very different answers and it would cause so much controversy that we would all start arguing with each other.
What's your answer? What age should they be taught?
That's not the topic. My topic is that it's such a controversial issue that it's distracting from real world issues. The media knows this. Big corporations know this. If I were to post on social media about the LGBTQ community, so many more people would like, share, comment, repost than if I were to talk about other things.
Right now, it's the fashion. People it's the thing people like talking about now.
It sparks
I don't like
controversy,
talking about
but
it.
it's
Who likes
distracting
talking
us from
about it?
greater
Well, he doesn't like
issues.
to-
Who likes talking about it here?
It's a community that sparked the controversy. They started castrating children and they started invading women's homes.
Okay, what about a big corporation that puts a gay pride flag and we all start talking about it? Are we talking about the fact that they're ruining the environment? That they're underpaying their workers?
But isn't the environment also the
The
same
corporations
thing?
are
Isn't the
ruining
environment
their
the same game?
I'm from Florida. A lot of people here are from Florida. And a bill passed called the Don't Say Gay Bill.
What's going on?
Who's from Florida?
What's the matter with Florida? What's the matter with Florida?
A bill passed called the Don't Say Gay Bill that restricted people from saying gay and talking about the LGBT community in school. However, everyone was only talking about that. Everyone was either in support or in outrage, but that's all they would talk about. I don't know. Meanwhile, two other bills passed in Florida at the same time. One to cut the taxes from the wealthy, and the other one to deregulate environmental laws. Now, Florida is actually sinking. No one was talking about
Sinking.
The water's not about Florida.
There's climate change.
We thought the water was rising.
Water is
Is the water
rising.
rising or is it sinking?
Water is rising, which means the continents are sinking. The coast is no longer being insured the
It
way
could
that it
sink
was.
as well. Venice
Yes.
is sinking.
Exactly, thank you.
But it's not water,
The
water's rising.
water is rising, places are sinking. But people are not focused on this in Florida because of the Don't Say Gay bill. What I'm saying
How many people have drowned as a consequence?
what I am saying is that LGBTQ issues and gender identity issues spark so much more outrage than the real issues that are going on in the world. Well, the real issues unite us. But the government and the big media and corporations use issues to divide us, to distract us from their actual issues in the
Is
world.
Florida really sinking? What proof do you have of that? Yes.
I'm not talking about conspiracy, it's a fact. The world is sinking.
Where did you get that fact from?
And this is what we should be talking about.
Where does the fact from?
Who actually discusses
What can
this
you do
with their
about
friends
that?
and their classes and their
What can you
peers?
do about
Give us the
sinking?
name of half a dozen places that sunk that you know.
They
name
are
us.
sinking. I
Which
never
one?
said
Which
they
one?
sunk.
Which one does sunk?
It starts with flooding.
Atlantis.
Those are icemen. I mean, what?
Number of hurricanes.
Hurricanes, yeah.
There's more hurricanes now than there were before.
Both the number of hurricanes
How do you know?
and victims.
How do I know? It's a fact.
It's a fact.
So
Are you blaming the gays?
Where is the fact?
Are you blaming the gays for all the troubles of the world?
I'm blaming each other because gender identity issues spark up so much more debate because they deal with our morals and there's something that are easier to talk about.
There's a lot of debate about flooding as well.
So next time someone says, when should we learn about LGBTQ community in schools?
When will flow be finished?
If we're going to be even able to have children to go to school, if it's even ethical to have children in the future, because of how much what is going on in the world, might not be ethical.
Wander around
Could shout out that he is alive and the resurrection. What would your Muhammad shout out? I am scared. I haven't got a clue. I don't know where I am going.
When Jesus was resurrected,
I am a sex maniac.
He said it's
Monday.
Monday, that's what I said, Monday.
Not Monday.
Monday, 3 days. That's what I said. Monday.
I think it's Monday.
Friday is like...
You got the hot cross bun on the Friday. And resurrection on Monday.
In the tomb on Friday night.
Jesus had hot cross bun.
In the tomb Friday night.
At the Last Supper.
Sunday night and out Monday morning.
No, it's not.
That's what I think.
3 times 24 hours. Friday was the first day, Saturday the second.
Friday night. Shout out.
That's that one resolved. We've got another one speaking.
But this is not the world that we live in. Countries have grown dependent on each other and relying on other countries to come in and fight their battles rather than defending themselves. But this is unacceptable. It can't go on like this. The world, although it may seem harsh, the world would be a much better place if countries stopped intervening in foreign wars because of ethical reasons, history, and strategic reasoning shows that it would be
Israel, money to Israel.
There would be many benefits if we stopped intervening because
So should America stop supporting Israel?
We should stop sending our military into Israel, but we can support them in other ways. With financial support.
Why? Same thing.
There will be support.
You're financing them.
Have refugee support for them and sending humanitarian aid rather than sending
to who? To the Palestinians or the Israelis?
So how can you say? There have been many examples in history that show that foreign intervention honestly leads to more harm than good for these countries. Because although there may be good intentions behind intervention.
Does Greenland belong to America?
That is not what I'm talking about.
I'm just asking.
I'm asking. Intentions behind intervention. Why does Trump want to build hotels in Gaza? Why does Trump want to build hotels
in Gaza? Is it just the fact that you're tired, that America is now just tired of supporting the rest of us?
It's about everybody. All countries would be better off. We would all reap the benefits because there would be reduced military escalation.
But look, when Putin decided to attack Ukraine, all of the people of Europe and most of the world decided, let's go in and support these poor people. Are you telling us that we're not going? The people decided, and they marched and they marched and they marched.
Who did?
The people of this country.
We were wrong to support them by sending any troops there.
I think so.
We should support them with humanitarian aid and refugee support rather than sending our own troops. And we should invest in
then Putin is going to be delighted because, like, really, they need weapons in order to fight him. I mean, you can feed them while he's killing them.
Who is he? Vladimir Zelensky's ambassador.
I would be proud to be.
But the moment they show up at Speaker's Corner, it suddenly becomes
even forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts shall perform this.
How are you, right?
That's what you need to see.
So when did Jesus rise? What day was it? Monday?
He rose on the first day of the week.
Right, okay.
This man asked the question, when did Jesus rise? On the Monday, the Sunday, the first day of the week. Because in the Hebrew calendar, any part of a day, an evening or a morning, constituted a day and a night.
Okay.
So the Thursday night and the Friday morning constituted a day and a night. The Friday night and the Saturday morning constituted a day and a night.
Okay.
And the Saturday night and Sunday morning constituted a day and a night. So
Sorry.
3 days and
Forgive
3
my
nights.
ignorance. Forgive my genuine
3
ignorance.
days and 3 nights.
One question.
The Son of Man had to be in the heart of the earth. Just as Jonah was in the belly of the whale 3 days and 3 nights. So the Son of Man had to be in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights, as it was written of him. And this is a sign that he gave to the Jews. When he comes back, no one knows the day or the hour.
But when he came back,
he hasn't come back yet.
I thought people saw him came back.
He's coming in. Oh, he rose from the dead.
That's what I mean.
But he's coming in glory.
No, but when he rose from the dead,
coming in glory.
Did he go into hiding, or did he hang around, or what happened to him?
He revealed himself to 500 witnesses.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I told me.
He revealed himself to Simon Peter.
And then
he revealed himself to all the apostles.
And then what happened to him? Where did he go?
And then he ascended up into heaven.
Oh, right, okay.
And the angels saw him, and the disciples saw him. And the angels said, "Why, men of Galilee, why are you staring up into heaven?"
And you think he's going to come back?
This same Jesus, who's taken up from you into heaven, will so come in like manner as you have seen him go into heaven. Okay. He's coming in that same
And you're
way.
saying he's going to come back again,
He's coming again.
When do you think that would be?
He's coming in person. I don't know the
What
day or
circumstances?
the hour. No man knows the day or the hour.
Okay.
That's hidden from us.
Okay.
Otherwise we'd all be preparing for that day.
Okay, thanks very much.
God bless you. And so God alone knows the day or the hour of his coming.
Elena,
Only God.
this lady was healed by Jesus of cancer a year ago. Do you want to talk to her so I can continue?
Because thousands of Gentiles from all the slaves of the world went out in the Exodus with the Israelites, where God calls the Israelites my firstborn son, the Son of God.
The power of resurrection will manifest in your own life. And my dear friend, of that power,
We got a little meeting over here. Can meet. Window to consciousness.
I'm a bit worn out. What's your name?
Aboud.
Aboud. Yeah. Thank you for stopping. It was a pleasure. Thank you. What's your name? Hamid. Thank you for stopping.
I recognise you from before.
Yeah,
you were younger, and so was I.
Yeah, I do. I was back here 2 weeks ago for the first time in 10, 12 years.
Is that right?
Yeah. So.
Do you want to introduce yourself for the audience?
Oh yes, hello audience. My name is Yap. I'm here today promoting. I'm trying to give agency to consciousness, and I've been here addressing these modes, this whole set of modes that the mind implies when it's engaged in thought. And it doesn't matter whether you're Russian or Chinese, male or female, black or white. This mode is a set of universals within all human beings. This is the phenomenological set that allows us to systemize and thus synthesize our place in reality. And I don't class myself. In one respect, in the conventional sense, I'm Irish. Come on Ireland when we play rugby.
You sound Irish.
I am Irish, but that's where it stops. In the abstract lens, I go back to fish. In the abstract lens, I'm a set of a priori modes lost in an ocean of dissipating variables. And until I know more, I am that. Okay? We are a set of modes trying to abstract our way forward, trying to systemize, close in on knowledge, synthesize our place, and we're lost in an ocean of dissipating variables.
Wait a minute. Have you thought? I know it's. But have you thought about going into the middle of that crowd and talking this?
Have I thought about what?
Going to the middle of the 420 crowd and talking this.
What's the 420 crowd?
The cannabis smokers.
Oh, they're all. Is that they're all there?
They're all
I should go join them. I'm going to go join them. I
remember once they came up. I was speaking here and they came. Oi, Chotsky, have a bit of that biff. And I made a speech and I was like, wobbling.
Oh, I was wondering what the crowds were here today for.
That's them. So maybe you could.
That's why they're all so peaceful.
Maybe you could interconnect with their brains.
No, I couldn't.
Look, we've got a Yeti coming towards.
So what have you been doing all these decades? I think last time I saw you was like about 2004.
Was it that far back?
Yeah.
Well, for the last 14 years I've been bringing up my son. I've also, prior to that, I went travelling. I went to India a few times. I went off into the world. I've been out there speaking. I've been, my art, just living life, trying to understand, the inward journey, trying to, understand the mind, understand it. Thousands and thousands of hours of study. Take care. Thousands of hours of study to understand the mind, so I could better understand myself and our species.
So, who are your favourite philosophers or thinkers?
Immanuel Kant and Henry Thoreau. Now, they're kind of two extremes in one sense, but Henry Thoreau, because through metaphor, poetry, he painted us in as the beautiful butterfly, metamorphosis. He painted us into nature. Kant, because he was the skeleton structure of the mind, the a priori skeleton structure, to give agency to consciousness, so we could better understand ourselves. And I've been working on that ever since. The reason I love Kant, because Kant, of all the philosophers, understood that we need to understand the mind itself and how the compass is lined up, if you will. What's the north, south, east and west of ourselves, so we can go forward on the correct path. That's why I went down the road with Kant. And I built on Kant's word, I've refined it all. I have my own categories now, which is a set of modes, a priori modes that allow us to think. And I believe this set can give agency to the observational eye. And I believe on the back of this blueprint, we can move forward out of this schizophrenic paradigm and become who knows what we're meant to be.
So you get a little bit further than these guys over there.
They're on a hamster wheel. They're on a hamster wheel. Less. They mean well. There's love, and they're trying to relink. But there's dogma. There's ego. And less. We've heard that conversation 10,000 times. They're religious.
So what when you're giving out leaflets and stuff now, you're trying to create some sort of group or movement?
I have a YouTube channel and my Medium channel, and
what's the YouTube channel called?
60 Second Philosopher.
Okay.
You can if you hone in on that.
There you go.
Yeah. And you can keep the flyer.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
All right, I'll speak to you again.
Yeah, thank you for stopping.
All right, see you later.
Oh my goodness.
How are you, all right?
Alhamdulillah. How are you, sir?
Not bad.
Good.
And became the head of the CIA in '73.
How are you, all right?
Very well, thanks. Been very manic and bipolar. I'm going to court again. I've upset a Catholic priest and called him a Satanist.
Was he a Satanist?
All Catholics worship money and the imagery and, they're devils in skirts. They are! They are! How can a Jesus be a Catholic? Here's the joke. Why wasn't Jesus born in Ireland? They couldn't find 3 wise men. I'm your biggest nightmare, darling.
Oh, it's the Phantom Killer.
Commander of the Lord. Do I look like a fucking messiah?
Well, that's the Speaker's Corner walkabout. I hope you've enjoyed that a little bit. We're back to the man who speaks to nobody. And, oops. Have we got a spin of death on this?